Welcome to the Week 7 edition of the Fifth Down. I'm Travis Kozak.
And I'm Jeff Schaefer. With the regular season winding down, several teams are close to clinching spots in the postseason. Unfortunately, one local squad lost its chance at a playoff berth this week.
That's right. The Atlanta Huskies learning they'll have to forfeit their first 3 wins of the season due to fielding an ineligible player. So the Huskies dropping from 3-2 to 0-5, entering tonight's tilt against their rivals from Hillman. Atlanta looking to win that trophy back from Hillman for the first time since 2005. And in the first quarter, things looking good. A Huskies interception sets up Atlanta in the red zone, and Garrett Badgerow makes like Tom and cruises into the end zone. Atlanta leads 6-zip. Second quarter now, Atlanta up 12. This time Badgerow making plays on D. He picks off Tyler Jones and takes it all the way to the house. However, it would have to come back because of a penalty on the return. But the Huskies still have the ball, and the penalty just delaying the inevitable. As less than 4 minutes later, Badgerow hooks up with Jared Teets for the score, and Atlanta extends the lead to 18-0.
Badgerow can really do it all out there for the Huskies. Very impressive.
Certainly can. Later in the second, the Tigers cut into the lead. Michael Klein breaks the long TD run to make it 18-8 Atlanta. But the Atlanta offense just too much to handle for Hillman, and the Huskies run away with this one, ending the Tigers' 6-game series win streak 34-14.
Huge win for Atlanta, especially coming off the rough week that they had, taking down their rivals from Hillman.
Absolutely, and that sets up AuGres to try and take the lead in the North Star over Hillman tonight. But early Milo gets the scoring started. Aaron Wood gets around the outside and scores, and the Thunderbolts are up 6. But on the ensuing drive, the Wolverines get the aerial attack going. Tyler Schutte rolls out and finds Cody Yoakum for the nice gainer. And then a couple plays later, Schutte spreading it around nicely to all of his friends, this time finding Brett Hively, who heads into your living room. And the Wolverines are officially threatening. And then AuGres throwing a little bit of a change-up here. They go to the ground. Yoakum too fast for even the camera guy. He finds Pater, and the Wolverines added the 2-point conversion to go on top 8-6. Then just before the half, Milo looking to regain the lead, but Schutte making plays on D. He has different plans. He picks off Bradley Rhodes in the end zone and takes off down the sideline. In the second half, the Wolverines lit up the scoreboard, giving them the 48-26 win and moving them to the top of the North Star League standing.
Huge for AuGres. They lost to Milo already this year, but tonight's game, the one that counts in the standings. So big one for the Wolverines. Now let's check in on the out-of-town scoreboard. 2 Huron-Shore squads with a chance to punch their tickets to the playoffs. Whittemore dropped a heartbreaker to Brown City, 18-14. The Cards, now 5-2, have another chance at win number 6 next week against Standish Sterling. But Alpena does clinch a spot in the postseason. Nathan Fettis and Cody Franklin each found the end zone twice to help the Tigers edge Manton by 1, 34-33.
The Tawas Braves picked up their first win of the season over Pinconning. Dan Howell led the Tawas running attack with 132 yards on the ground, and Cameron Mader returned a fumble 45 yards for a Braves TD. Now for Posen, they picked up their second win of the season, and in impressive fashion, hanging 74 points on Rock Mid Peninsula. Nick Hinska went off for the Vikings, racking up 341 yards and 5 TDs on the ground. After starting the season 1-2, the boys from Johannesburg-Lewiston have come on strong, winning their last 3 games.
Yeah, that's right, but tonight they faced a tough road test against another flock of Ski Valley Cardinals in Onaway. The home team could clinch a playoff berth with a victory tonight. Early though, Onaway has got to punt it away, and Garrett Karanka gets in and blocks the kick. Dylan Helms falls on it, and Joburg takes over with good field position. And the visiting Cardinals would take advantage. Mitch Hardy on the give overpowers Jason Sigsby to find the end zone for 6. That makes it 6-zip Joburg. The home team got a little momentum when Matt Tellini hooks up with Justin Jetta over the middle, making first down. That drive would stall though. In the second quarter, Joburg goes back to work. Dylan Kibbe had quite a night, and here he had quite a run, breaking tackles and making moves. Looked like he might take this one to the house. He eventually though is hauled down deep in Onaway territory. No worries for Joburg though, because later the QB, Alex Payne, brings the pain on the keeper right up the middle. 12-zip Joburg. They were just the better Cardinals tonight. Joburg pours it on, downing Onaway 56-14. Now both these teams 1 win away from reaching the postseason. Now let's head out to Huron country, where Rogers City is still searching for win number 1, hosting Rudyard this evening. RC up 14-zip, and we pick it up in the third. Evan Lamb forced out of bounds, but not before a nice gain. And a little bit later, the Lamb leading the Hurons to the end zone as Evan finds some space on the far side for 6. He also kicked the extra point to put Rogers City up 21-zip. The Bulldogs weren't going anywhere on their next drive as the Huron defense stands tall. Rudyard actually turned it over on a Chris Lopez interception. A lot to cheer about for the Hurons tonight. And on the next drive, Jacob Maloke is the workhorse for RC. He picks up a nice gain here, and a little bit later, Jacob will finish this drive off as he powers through the Bulldog D for another score. Rogers City wins at 33-6. Congrats to the Hurons on their first win of the season.
Absolutely, big win for them. Now over in Cadillac, Alpena trying to spoil the Vikings' homecoming tonight, but all the fireworks in this one belong to the home team. In the second, Jalen Brooks rolls out and finds Patrick Briggs for 13 yards to get deep into the Cats' territory. And later in the drive, Nolan Gerner doing the dirty work. He punches it in from 2 yards out. Cadillac leads 28-0. Later in the second, it turned into the Jalen Brooks show. He makes some nifty moves with his feet and then bowls his way to the Alpena 30. That's man strength right there. That's what they call that. Then Brooks finishing off what he started, finding pay dirt from 14 yards out on the QB keeper. And the Vikings extend the lead to 34. However, the Cats didn't quit. Alpena trying to get something going before halftime. Brady Marweed finds Jacob Klein for 10 yards, and the Cats find the red zone, but they couldn't find the end zone. Later in the drive, Marweed just overshoots Caleb Smith in the end zone on 4th down, and Alpena was unable to find the scoreboard the rest of the night. They drop a rough one on the road, 40-0.